As we come out of hunting season, your next course makes a lot of sense. We're doing a venison sausage with oxtail garum, carrot puree, fried carrot shavings, crispy venison flavored wheat berry, all finished with an oak smoke. And so let me break that down for you. The oxtail garum, many of you know of fish sauces. We make our own. And in addition to our fish sauce, we made an oxtail garum, which is essentially the same process. And it's part of zero waste, but it's also just us playing around and experimenting and seeing what we can do to create new flavors. And so here we took oxtail, which anyone who's made oxtail before knows that the tail starts off large and then gets very small. Those smaller pieces are harder to eat from. And so instead of trying to pick that meat from the bone and do something with it, we kept it and we aged it and we turned it into a fish sauce, although in this case it's called a garum. So that's the real umami savory sauce that's on the dish. The fried carrot shavings, that's another part of our zero waste initiative. You know, most restaurants would take those shavings, throw them away. We don't see that as a good use of them. We make sure it's super clean and then we turn them into this really amazing crispy garnish. The wheat berry is something that we get from Rick Davis of Oakland Farms, and he does all organic grain farming for us. And the oak smoke is just to give it a nice campfire finish. For those of you enjoying the drink pairings tonight, your pairing for this course is Le Père Jules. It's a hard apple cider from Normandy. There's a long history of apple ciders in the Ozarks, and that really comes more toward the end of the 19th century, a little bit out of our time period, but we think it's relevant here for this meal, and of course delicious with this course. It's a dry cider, and we're excited about it because it also does fit into our wine program. As you'll hear in a later video, Missouri rootstock has a really important role to play in the French wine industry in the mid to late 19th century. Now, interestingly, we caused the disaster that happened over there, but then we also fixed it. So we take credit more for the fixing than the causing. But it's a really interesting story and one that we're happy to share. And again, I'll talk more about this in a moment. But like all of our projects here, this is not a classroom, it's a meal. But some of the stuff we're doing is really interesting. And for those of you who want to know more, we do white papers on many of these topics, things that allow us to document the research we're doing and the work that we're doing and put in a digestible form in the format of a white paper that we can share with customers. And the one that's most detailed at this point is our wine program. And it talks about why we do what we do, why we select the wines that we pick, and why those specific regions in France, which oftentimes feel a little bit odd to diners, especially when we're so locavore. But it makes sense in the big picture of the research that we're doing. So feel free to ask Jack if you'd like a copy of that or any of the other white papers we're happy to share. You can shoot us an email afterwards as well. Enjoy.